Hi, my name is Li Jie.
Hi, my name is NG.
Hello, I'm Justin.
Hi, I'm Lim Jingshen.
In this episode of American Greed.
Ebbers is an amazing story because he came from nothing.
The WorldCom scandal was a major accounting scandal that came to light in the summer of 2002. Senior executives at WorldCom, led by founder and CEO Bernard Ebbers, orchestrated a scheme to inflate earnings in order to maintain the WorldCom stock price.
Known for exposing the largest fraud in corporate history, is now out with a new book. Time magazine naming Cooper along with
This was
whistleblower
soon
Sharon
uncovered by
Watkins,
Cynthia
Enron, and
Cooper,
Colleen Rowley
a
of the
perfectionist
FBI.
head of WorldCom's internal audit department, who began to secretly examine the company's book at night. At the time, it was the largest accounting fraud in American history.
In the Kohlberg 6 stages of moral development, there are 3 levels of morality, which are pre-conventional morality, conventional morality, and post-conventional morality. Each level consists of 2 different orientations. I would start with the pre-conventional level. Stage 1 is the punishment and obedience orientation, where the reasoning behind doing the right thing is to avoid punishment. Stage 2 is the instrumental and relative orientation. The moral reasoning behind the right behaviors is that wishing others would do the same to them as well. Going to the conventional level, stage 3 is about interpersonal concordance orientation. It describes that the right action is conforming to what is expected in one's role. Stage 4 would be about the law and order orientation. This stage would define right or wrong based on loyalty to one's nation or society. Therefore, norms and laws should be followed for the society to function well. Stage 5 in the post-conventional level is describing about the social contract orientation. It describes that one is aware of conflicting moral views, but he or she believes that moral views should be tolerated. Stage 6 talks about the universal moral principle orientation. This stage states that the right actions are defined in terms of moral principle chosen. The person would see this principle as the criteria for evaluation of socially accepted norms and values. The moral principles and complex reasoning that Cynthia Cooper possessed suggest that she reached stage 6 in these 6 stages of moral development. In this case, she followed her own personal moral principles which transcend beyond what normal people think is right or wrong. For instance, Cynthia believes that everyone must not falsify financial reporting, no matter who they are or who they benefit. She might be penalized and encounter some consequences resulting from her whistleblowing action, yet she was resistant to situational influence and she prioritizes her own moral standards on top of other factors, which includes her employment, shareholders' wealth, and the employment of other WorldCom employees. She is not just acting for her own good, but all the members of the companies which might be affected by the fraud. Therefore, this is the universal rule that she believes which all must follow. Hence, this shows that she has reached stage 6 based on her reasoning.
Gilligan believed that women face a lot of psychological challenges and they are not moral rejects. The woman's point of view on the moral development involves caring, which shows its effect on human relationships. For instance, when women face a moral issue, they will tend to nurture these relationships, avoiding violence and hurt to others in this relationship and caring for their well-being. Hence, she proposed a theory which has the same 3 stages as Kohlberg's, but with a different stages of moral development. The moral development for a woman is marked by the progress toward better way of sharing love and cares to whom we are in relationship. At the pre-conventional level, women only care for herself to ensure survival. This is a transition period where they find connections between oneself and others. At the conventional level, women feel responsible and show care towards other people. Gilligan believes that this moral thinking can be identified in the role of a mother and a wife. Gilligan states that The post-conventional level of moral thinking can be dealt based on two types of thinking, which is the care-based morality that is usually found in women and the justice-based morality that is usually found in men. Women with care-based morality are usually interested in helping others. They tend to put more emphasis to interconnected relationships and universality. People with justice-based morality view the world as being composed of autonomous individuals who interact with one another. Hence, the principle of care for self as well as others is accepted at post-conventional stage. Gilligan criticized Kohlberg's theory that Kohlberg only studied the privileged white men and boys. She said that this causes a biased option against women.
The action and motive of Cynthia Cooper is undermining Carol Milligan's view. Cynthia is a woman who has reached middle adolescence. Her self-interest and morality were starting to integrate conceptually. Cynthia focuses on the interconnected relationship with others through her action of putting herself aside to care for others. She is willing to sacrifice herself, even knowing that she might be fired by the company just to investigate what was going on in WorldCom. This could be proven when she was threatened by her CFO not to report the fraud in the company. She was in the conventional stage of moral development when she neglected herself just to protect the members of the company. Cynthia was in the transition to post-conventional stage when she wanted to follow her own belief. She believed that whistleblowing was the right thing to do in order to report the wrongdoing of Sullivan and David Myers. She wanted to save them from those unethical behaviors. She was trying to strike a balance between caring for others and oneself. She wanted to stop Sullivan and David Myers from harming the company and refraining them from moral deviation. She did not care about what others might criticize on her, but just following her own belief. She tried to do the best that she could to protect the company.
So how does William Damon's theory of moral identity apply to Cynthia Cooper? Damon's theory expands upon Kohlberg and Gilligan's theory of moral development by relating moral development to self-identity and the factors which motivate people to be moral. Damon states that middle adolescence is when morality becomes a very important part of who we really are. The more that morality becomes part of who we are, the more it motivates us to do what is morally right. Damon also notes that in certain cases, there are people who have integrated morality so well with their sense of self that these people do not see their actions as a moral action of self-sacrifice, but rather they see it as a morally right action that they must want and commit to. So for example, an individual with a moral identity would not see monetary donations as a loss to his or her personal wealth, but rather he or she would exclusively see it as how it is morally right for them to help those who are in need. Well, a person that fits into this category is Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia worked at WorldCom, America's second largest long-distance telephone company at the time. When Cooper knew that there was something wrong with her company's public financial records, she worked tirelessly to uncover the lies underneath it. Eventually, she found out that both the company's chief financial officer or CFO and the company's controller had performed accounting fraud with the help of Arthur Anderson, the company's auditor and accounting firm. Even when Cynthia was threatened by the company's CFO and she was facing the reality of losing her job and career, she still went on to alert her company's board of directors about the false financial reporting. In this situation, Cooper displayed a strong sense of morality. Even when faced with the other factors that can damage her personally, she still maintained her decision to do the right thing. She even stated that the fear of losing her job was secondary to the obligation she felt, which truly proves how important doing the right thing is for Cooper and her level of commitment towards moral action. And thus, Cynthia Cooper displays all the traits and characteristics of an individual that exemplifies the theory of moral identity.
So, we have stated our position for Cynthia Cooper action. What do you think?